I grew up baking flatbread, both at my grandparents' farm and with my aunt at her farm. A flatbread bakery used to be something that every farm had, but it's getting more uncommon. My mom and my aunt are very technically skilled in the art of making traditional Jämtlandian flatbreads. They've been doing it their whole life.
It doesn't exist in written format almost anywhere. How did you guys learn this?
I learned from my mother and my aunt and grandmother, I think.
So you learned together, basically, both
Yes,
of you?
yes.
I made this starter dough yesterday. It's rye flour and milk. In the old days, before the time of cultured yeast, the yeast that is dried up and resting in the grains of this wood will inoculate the starter dough and make it start rising, so giving the final bread a very distinctive character. In this pot we'll have some milk and a little bit of butter.
We have to have the syrup in.
Golden syrup made from sugar beets, a little bit salty.
Gå på känsla.
The feeling has to be right.
We season this dough with fennel seeds, anise seeds, and caraway or coriander seed. Some of the leavening agent. It's quite hard work mixing the actual dough.
Yes, no, it's hard.
There are usually 2 or 3 people doing it.
That's started good now.
The right texture, which is elastic, and it's very sticky. If you make it too dry, you can't roll it out really thin,
Have some meal on the top.
so it doesn't form a crust. Place it next to the hot baking oven to help it proof for about 45 minutes or so.
That's great.
When you shape the dough, you use a lot of flour. When it comes sort of loose of your fingers in a very particular way, and then that means it's done.
There could be 8, 10, 12 people working together to produce this bread. And everyone had different tasks. But when you're a kid, you start with simpler tasks.
One of the first things is this brushing of the flour. And it's extremely important to get all the flour off the cake because it burns at a much lower temperature than the dough itself.
After that, you graduate to more complex tasks.
You can actually shape the dough, rolling it into thin rounds.
And in the very end, you will be allowed to start cooking the actual flatbreads.
Baking like this, it comes out of a history where it was necessary to store foods. When bread is baked, you can dry it, and you rehydrate it, for example, in broth, and eat it months or even years later.
It was regarded as a big undertaking to heat all that massive stone. When you'd done your baking, it wasn't uncommon to invite your neighbors to use the residual heat. And when it was their time to fire up their oven, they would invite you back in return.
Looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I have fantastic childhood memories of watching this dough fermenting.
Usually you just take a little bit of butter, let it melt on this.
Mmm.
And this is a special thing. You always do this with the first cake. Good.
Really
Well
good.
done.
Nice. Nice work.
Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee.